Hey guys, Coach Bill Sandell coming to you from Chandler, Arizona, and we got another question over the weekend.
Let's get started.
Coach, one of my guys said to me, hey coach, can you explain what stretch means? Because they're hearing a bunch of things from different trainers. And I said, yeah, you know, depending on the trainer you go to, stretch may mean something a little different, but I'm gonna tell you what stretch means to me. So stretch means to me, we also call it your X factor, and we'll explain more, is from where your hands set and where you're coiled on your backside, and when you get to the foot down position. That stretch you get from foot down to hand set. Now, a lot of guys will talk about that shoulder hip separation. I'm not exactly talking about that. I'm talking about how my hands are gonna set into my scap load and how I'm getting to my foot down position with my weight back. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a video on Aaron Judge, and we'll explain stretch more when we talk about him, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, in this video, we're gonna talk about stretch. So when we talk about stretch, we're talking about getting to the foot down position. We're talking about where your hands set and how you're getting into your scap load. That's gonna create this stretch. Okay, a lot of people call it hip shoulder separation. I really don't. It's about getting on your backside. It's about making sure that when you stretch, you're stretching that backside into the backside. You're stretching the scap into the backside. You're applying your ground force into the backside. Let me clear these lines. So as we roll through, now, look at Aaron Judge. This is now where his hand's set, where his foot's down. This is what I consider your stretch or your X factor, okay? That separation between foot down and hand set. Now, let me clear these lines. As we roll through, that first motion is gonna drive everything. So now, everything on this back side is working together. This is where the stretch becomes important, because everything on this side is where your explosion and your barrel turn starts. So now you're gonna see he's initiating ground force. That barrel is gonna go backwards or rearward, and then that lead elbow is gonna come up, that shoulder is gonna come up. There's his tilt. A lot of guys talk about tilt. We're talking about shoulder tilt. A lot of guys say, oh, that back shoulder is dropping, you shouldn't tilt. 100% false. If you ever hear a coach say that, run away. And then his head stays nice and still as he gets the connection. Let's clear these lines real quick. And then again, we talk about that reverse house. Look how high his lead elbow is. That's his reverse house right there, okay? That's what we call his power V, okay? His power V right here, okay, to get to connection. That's what we talk about with reverse house or power V as he gets through to a nice strong finish and he rotates off the ball. And again, when you're on your backside, a lot of great things happen. Look at that heel straight up. Look at that firm front side. Great job. Okay, guys, you just watched that video on Aaron Judge, and we talked about stretch. We talked about that separation between getting to foot down and hand set, and how you get that rear leg torsion, and how everything on that backside works together. So when you create your ground force, explosion of the barrel backwards or rearward, where that barrel kind of goes backwards, the hand pivot point turns that barrel, you have good shoulder tilt. The biggest thing about shoulder tilts, I can tell you guys, is that everybody tilts their shoulders, but the key component is keeping your head still. So when you have shoulder tilt and you go ahead and work those arms in a mirroring motion where one's getting down, the other one's coming up, there's your shoulder tilt. And you'll look at Aaron Judge's number in the 99. If you draw a line straight through the 99, he has good shoulder tilt. But his head stays absolutely still and works through connection to a nice, solid, strong finish. So he has great posture, great stack at the end, and his weight is back. That's gonna be the key. When I talk about good hitters, that success leaves clues, it's always about hitting from the backside, having a good barrel turn, having great foundation and great stack. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. Have yourself a great week. Talk to you soon.